The Hangout is live. It's a live broadcast. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Media Speaks Live Saturday morning news show. I'm DLAKE for Prez. David Lake reporting for the MediaSpeaks.com. You know, it's a project that we are, we're working on. And I'm joined this morning by Sam I.B&gt, Sam of the Correct Views, and the Van Passing Time. That's right.
Greetings, unsettled souls, and welcome to the Saturday edition.
Excellent, Sam. Great to have you on the show. This morning, I wanted to get started talking about Donald Trump. Tonight is going to be on SNL, Saturday Night Live. Very funny show. It's gone through a couple of seasons of not being so funny. Is it funny again? Is it still not funny? I mean, Sam, how do you feel about Saturday Night Live?
I never watch any of that stuff. Like, literally never. Never.
Presidential candidate Donald Trump is on, or a couple weeks ago, Hillary Clinton did a walk-in. Did you watch any of the clips on YouTube or anything like that?
I meant to watch Hillary's and didn't even watch that. I almost never watch regular TV like that. I do know he's going to be on it. Trump, I'll probably look up because I look for him to do very well on it. So I probably will watch that.
Okay, and are you also aware this week about how there was that there is people protesting Trump being on SNL, and there is opposition to him being on SNL? And also, I mean, I don't know if people are aware of this, but according to FEC, Federal Election Commission type rules, that the amount of time that Donald Trump is extended by NBC on their SNL show, that amount of time needs to be offered and afforded to every other candidate in the presidential race, according to FCC time limit laws and rules of what do they call that? Equal time type of thing, right? But Luke Sissy-Fag, Luke Montgomery, that was formerly known in the 90s as Luke Sissy-Fag, he's the director of the Fuck Trump video attacks, and now he's attacking the people that commented about his video on Breitbart. Now, I wanted to point out that when I went to his video the other day, and I have a witness, when I was watching it on YouTube, people were saying that if you refresh the page, the dislikes change, and also that people's comments were getting scrubbed from the video on YouTube. This video of this little Ricardo, he's not an anchor baby, call him Rick, who flips off the camera and says, "Fuck you, you racist fuck," talking to Donald Trump. Luke Montgomery, formerly known as Luke Sissy-Fag, the director behind an anti-Donald Trump video featuring Latino children yelling obscenities, is defending his film and lashing out against Breitbart News. "We're fighting fire with fire. It's a legitimate position," Sissy-Fag said. "If I had a nickel for every bad comment I saw on Breitbart, I'd be a rich man. And I'm offering $5,000 to anyone that yells out that Donald Trump is a racist or says deport racism on stupid Saturday Night Live." FEC records show that Sissy-Fag is also the founder and treasurer of a pro-Bernie Sanders PAC.
Well,
called Feel the Burn, and Deport Racism, and Bill for First Lady 2016, and he often uses children using swear words. Sam, can you talk about this?
The issue is even bigger than this bonehead's talentless, non-funny video. And I would say the reason for that is, and I have a really good friend, she's also actually in California with you. People take these talking points and have nothing to base them on. But then when you prove that they're wrong, they don't change their mind on Trump. The media has literally brainwashed people. Two instances of this. One, she says that Trump is racist, but yet can't point to a single racist thing that he's ever said. There's nothing racist about building a wall. There's nothing racist against his policies whatsoever. He's the only candidate that wants to make it easier and cheaper to legally get into the country.
Keyword being legal. Keyword being legal. A keyword.
Point that out. People won't listen.
This argument is illegal. They're like, if you report my grandmother, motherfucker, like, I'm gonna play some of this, Sam.
The other thing, if I could real quick, that people won't listen to either, and even when you show them that they're wrong, they still won't listen, is the notion that he is going, like I was told that he was going to shut down all mosques. That's not true. What he's saying is he's going to shut down mosques that are threatening to blow up institutions, which he have pointed to 2 or 3 of them. So when you point that out, the person and the people that are brainwashed in this way won't notice, hey, I was wrong about that. It's almost like you didn't say it. The media has them absolutely programmed to believe at least those 2 things about Trump, and neither one of those 2 have any weight or validity to them.
Yeah, and again, this week, Ben Carson was attacked for saying he might get a free ride or a full scholarship, or it's paid for by the Academy, because he was so recognized for his work at the ROTC that a famous Westmoreland General Westmoreland said, hey, we could get you in. And he's like, no, it's cool. I'm going to be a doctor. But then Politico comes out and fucking tries to smear campaign him. But I wanted to point this out. The damage the Obama presidency has done to Democrats in Congress and state legislators has been widely reported on over the last 7 years. But until Wednesday, no one had summed it up in just 140 characters or less, like on Twitter. But Republican operative Rory Cooper tied a bow on Democrats' fall from grace with a tweet that simply tallied up the losses. Now, Sam, I don't know if you're aware of this, but under President Obama, Democrats have lost 900 plus state legislator seats, 12 governors, 69 House seats, 13 Senate seats. That's some legacy.
12
Sam,
governors, that's over a fifth.
I'm sorry, Sam, what?
12 governors, obviously, that's over a fifth. But what's funnier about that is it's more than a fifth when you realize that some of them already had Republican governors.
Right, and if you take a look at my map, Sam, here, look how much, just look how much red we see in the 2015 post-election legislative partisan composition. Look how Republican the country is shifting. Because people are tired of Obama, but at the same time, we need to take things back on the state and local level. State legislators and governorships are going Republican in ways we've never seen in modern American history.
What's yellow and powder blue?
Yeah, our strength is at the state level, Sam. So we need to take advantage of that. The yellow is split. They're split. Could go either way. Like in Kentucky, could go either way. And the Republican just won in Kentucky. In a surprise win, Republican businessman Matt Bevin handily defeated Democrat Attorney General Jack Conway for the governor's seat in Kentucky. And they're like, Donald Trump, do you want to take credit for that? Donald Trump, you're going to be on Saturday Night Live tonight. Donald Trump, these little kids swear out your name and say fuck you and fuck Donald Trump. I'm going to play this, Sam. I'm going to play this for people.
Let me mute out.
Yeah.
Trump screen.
Trying to. Come on, Internet. You can do it. All right, Sam, having some trouble. Sam. Stupid Breitbart, stupid Internet. Are you there, Sam? Massive computer failure. Sam, are you there?
Yes, I've seen that. You're frozen out there.
All right, try to take over while I try to recover.
That little kid has a face like a skull. I mean, that's like more frightening than anything I saw on Halloween. No, the issue of it is this. This is only pointing to the fact that they don't have anything on Trump of which to actually cause him any trouble with.
What about his bankruptcy? What about those 4 bankruptcies in Atlanta City?
Which is funny because Hillary wrote a whole book claiming how poor she was. She lost most of her money after the White House, remember? She claimed she was poor, remember?
Is Marco Rubio on drugs? No, I'm just kidding. Did Ben Carson have a violent personality when he was 14 years old? And he tells, dude, Sam, you and I are both getting a little bit older. I mean, how hard is it to talk about shit that happened when we were 14? I mean, or like, let's say you were writing a book and they're like, remember what happened when you were 14 and tell us all about it. You know what I mean?
I don't understand. Is that what Carson's having trouble doing?
Yeah, because he said he had a violent past and he had violent outbursts in his like junior high days, attacked his mom with a hammer, and people are trying to come out. Even Trump's like, oh, he tried to attack his mom with a hammer. It's like, dude, that when he's 14 before he found, religion and Christ and brought, I guess he's a Seventh-day Adventist. I'm like Trump. I'm like, I really don't know what that is. I'm, Methodist. He's Presbyterian. We're Protestant. The Seventh-day Adventist. It's a little bit new. I would ask similar. We don't know exactly. Do you know what it is, Sam?
I would have asked. Yeah, I know what Seventh-day Adventist believes that the Sabbath is on the Saturday. What I would have done is I would have asked exactly what it is that his mother did that provoked him to hit her with a hammer. I mean, she might have had it coming. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that fucking bitch. Every time with the fucking. She's like, you gotta fold your clothes, and he's like, I'm not Mom.
But then I guess maybe she was a nutcase.
I guess his brother intervened. Whatever. He wrote about it in the book, but it's like CNN and Politico, and they're sending out their bloodhound reporters to try to find a scandal. And Carson addressed it on Sean Hannity. Another clip I wish I could play if my internet could get figured out. He was saying that, yesterday it was my violence. Today it's my acceptance or non-acceptance because they said you could get a full ride, kid, because you're doing so well in ROTC. You could get a full ride. A famous general that he dined with at this event that he went to over 50 years ago. He's just trying to tell it like the way he remembers it. And he's like, but no, I want to be a doctor. And he became a doctor. And he separated Siamese twins. I mean, the left's attack on Ben Carson is crazy. The left's attack on Donald Trump is crazy. Well, just let Trump go on to SNL because the same guy that made the video with the kid saying, fuck you, Donald Trump, middle finger. You racist fuck. Fuck you, you racist fuck. You tried to deport my abuelita, idiota. Fucking, it's like little kids saying all this shit. We can't have that.
DLAKE
going on SNL. And it's the same guy, Luke Sissy Fag, that's offering $5,000 to anyone that is going to yell out, Trump is a racist, or
you know what I would do?
Deport racism in 2016, support my stupid fucking campaign, when the same guy supports Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, and the left.
I have a great idea, DLAKE. I'm gonna is there any way you can section this part of the video out and put it up online? What we need someone to do, we'll put you on the Media Speaks, we'll do whatever. If you just do, I will give them I'll give somebody $100 to do this. Go ahead and say that on Saturday Night Live, get the $5,000, and then publicly donate every piece of money of this piece of shit's fund to Trump.
Whoa!
Oh yeah, yeah. I'll give him $100 fucking. I'm in a bad mood to
We'll give
begin
you
with.
$100
Yes.
if you get the $5,000 and then donate it back to Trump.
Yeah, think about all the airtime you get. You're gonna make more than $5,000.
No,
Anyway.
Donald Trump. It's tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Saturday. We do a live Saturday show in the mornings, and tonight on SNL is Donald Trump live. I mean, a presidential candidate. He's going to be hosting the show.
First person
Musical guest CEO. He's already done a few promotions, funny wig, and some stuff, and he's done some promotions. And I think it's going to be a good time. And there's some people saying that, like, oh, you're doing this, that, and the other thing before the debate, and we need to get serious. It's time to get serious. Well, the debate on Tuesday night, this coming Tuesday, November the 10th, is the 4th Republican debate. The Democrats haven't even had their second fucking debate. The Democrats, who's left? It's Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton, and an unidentified person.
Yeah, because the only one that had some common sense is running independent.
I saw an image post on Washington. It was like Washington Times, Washington. One of these news medias. It said Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton, and an unidentified person. That's Martin O'Malley. Does anyone else but me know that the shirtless president is Martin O'Malley? Go ahead, Sam.
The only one that made any sense, I think, was Willis or Wills or whatever he was. He seemed to have a rather intelligent stand on the Second Amendment, particularly for being a leftist, and he left. I don't know if he's running independent or green, but he has left the party after the first debate. He was so unhappy. It was either Willis or Wells. I don't know. I hadn't heard of the man very much prior.
Oh, Webb and
was it Webb? Was it Webb?
They both dropped out of the Democratic Party. I mean, I hate to sound so smart about this stuff, but I'm following it. Come on, man.
He was the one that had the common sense stand on the Second Amendment. I remember that. I was very impressed with his for being a Democrat, which didn't surprise me then that he left, because he's right. And if you're right, you can't be in that party because that party's been wrong for the last 20 years.
We are less than 1 year away from the election of the next president now. November 3rd, that's election day. Samuel, thank you for letting me talk a little bit about the Trump SNL. I guess I sort of went off on a rant. Looks like we lost all viewers. Maybe they don't like that. But why don't we shift gears and get into homicide rates versus gun sales? And if you could try to tie it together with stuff that we already did talk about, like Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton.
Well, let me go to Sanders first then. The most hypocritical statement that I have ever heard. Bernie Sanders just went full hypocrite. This is the anti-media SM Gibson. His statements regarding Uber use. Now, before I get into why he's a hypocrite, I want to say that I drove cab for about 10 years. And I'm not afraid to name names. I drove for a greedy bastard named Fred Nero, who would take almost all of the money that you make for the use of the car. You would work 8 hours. He'd make $100. You'd make 15. And I'm not kidding. I remember literally you would end up in such a mess just working under this SOB that you would literally starve to death. You would have to steal to eat. So I worked for Elite. They tried. And then I worked for Cosmo, but they were more of expediting, and they were great to work for. But the point is, Uber is exactly what every cab driver needed, because it means that they get to keep a big deal, a big share of the money, instead of giving it to the big company that they work for. Second of all, with Uber, it helps the passengers. If the passengers want to ride with somebody that is regulated with this insurance or that insurance, then they can do so. The trouble is, people aren't choosing the big cab companies. They're choosing the small cab companies, like the transportation service that also runs against Uber where I'm at, called Change Transportation. They're always trying to find some way to regulate these people out of business and steer all of the people's business towards the big cab companies, which of course helps the rich 1% that own these companies. I remember Fred Nero would drive around in brand new cars every year or two, while my wife and I were driving around pieces of trash because they took all the money. Well, Bernie Sanders is supposed to be a socialist. He's supposed to be for free. That's never what socialism is, friends. It always leads towards them going ahead and trying to tell you what it is that you can and can't do with your own money and who you're allowed to ride with. It says it's no secret that America's Democratic Socialist sweetheart, Bernie Sanders, loves big government. In Bernie's world, freedom isn't a God-given right. It's government-granted and subject to all kinds of regulation. Whether you believe that Bernie is here to save us from the wicked greed of the elite, or you have conjured up the idea that he is a scourge set out to oppose all those who believe that what the U.S. stands for, he is ultimately just another politician. And like most politicians, Bernie's actions don't exactly match his rhetoric. While we the people are told to practice what our leaders preach, bureaucrats are busy pursuing the philosophy of doing what they want, and Uncle Bernie is no different. It says the Democratic presidential candidate from Vermont has publicly spoken out against Uber, the popular car hailing provider, stating that it is unregulated and has serious problems. That must be why, listen to this, DLAKE, 100% of the senator's campaign spending on taxi and ride service sharing went to, drum roll, yep, Uber. So not only does he, and again, the problem is always the same with the left. I would be a club owner today if it wasn't for overregulation. And I do all kinds of things I can to get the government out of regulating that which I do. And I'm not going to go into it now, but if I want to do something with a property that I own, I don't ask permission. And I'm not fucking going to, because it's mine. It says, regardless of this blatant hypocrisy, Bernie's statements regarding Uber are false. There are 54 jurisdictions within the U.S. where the service is regulated, according to Uber. The number doesn't include the multitude of proposed regulations. So basically, Bernie is just mad because big money isn't getting their hands in Uber, and that the average person's actually making money by driving there and saving money by riding with them. And I fully support Uber, and there is no way that I would ever vote for Bernie Sanders for president.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe in the most simplistic view that I could see that in is that is an attack on capitalism.
It's a capitalism and the free market. What they want to do is they want to make it so unbelievably expensive that the same few people that always get the money from regulating get more money. There's a lady named Shirley Moore in Canton, Ohio. Shirley Moore can go to hell. She makes cab driving miserable for you. You're always having.
Why is that?
Again, over licensing, over regulation, overindulgence of the city. She works for the city, always having to have their hands in what the cab drivers are doing. Stay the hell out of our cab. It's none of your business.
Okay, I get it. Well, hey, I just went to the Drudge Report, and their top link is tonight, live from New York, Donald Trump on SNL, which is what I titled today's video, which just shows you, basically how in touch and in tune I am with today's top news. Sam, you talked about Bernie Sanders, but we wanted to segue that into homicide rates versus gun sales. Can you get to that article?
Yeah, I muted out. I'm having like a sneezing fit here. Homicide rates cut in half over 20 years, while gun ownership has soared. How many shootings does everybody listening to this video see? And you're under the impression that shootings are going up in the country, right? Let me tell you something. The only city that has murder rates going up in the country is Chicago, which is interesting considering the fact that Chicago has the least number of legal gun owners of any major city in America. Well, Mises.org, Ryan McMacken, there's a name. The murder rate in the U.S. is currently similar to that of the 1950s. It's real simple. The Pew Research Center reported last week that the murder rate was cut nearly in half, from 7 to 100,000 in 93 to only 3.6 in 100,000 in 2013. Over the same period, overall gun deaths, including accidents and suicides, have fallen by 1/3 to 15.2 to 10.6 per 100,000. So most gun rates are related to accidents in that regard. Let me also, and suicides. Also, let me say that not only are more people owning guns than they did in the 1950s, but I think it's also very important to note that if you factor out gang-related shootings, it is much, much lower than 3.6 per 100,000. That's not mentioned in this article, but if you factor that out, it goes down to levels that are some of the lowest we've seen within common sense. It says, in spite of this, Pew reports the American public believes that homicide and gun deaths are increasing in the U.S. This is not true. Those who think violence is getting worse should probably watch less television and look around them instead. The murder rate in the U.S. is currently similar to 1950s levels. Meanwhile, the number of privately owned guns and gun commerce in general in the U.S. has increased substantially in recent decades. And as you can see from the chart, it has gone up hugely just since 2011. The point is, gun rates, the gun ownership is leading to less death, not more. It says in Mexico, where the U.S. consulate counsels Americans to not even carry pocket knives in the face of Mexico's strict weapons laws, there is exactly one gun store in Mexico. In short, the Mexican experience is a perfect example of the effect of gun prohibition. The lack of legal guns leads to a need for illegal access, and you can see that the murder rate in Mexico has gone through the roof. Mexican politicians complain that weapons are easily smuggled from the U.S., and that's the source of the problem. But if access to guns is the problem, then shouldn't murder rates be much higher in the U.S. than in Mexico? Guess what, D-Lake? It's not. Moreover, if gun smuggling is such a problem in Mexico, this is just another piece of evidence showing the weakness of prohibition laws in preventing the intended target of the prohibition. It says, naturally, we can't blame everything on gun prohibition in Mexico, nor can we attribute the murder rate decline solely to more guns.
What about Turkey and Estonia, according to this map that chart that I have on? Mexico 18.9, Turkey 4.35, Estonia 4.08, United States of America 3.82. Below us, below America, Chile, Hungary, Belgium, Israel, Finland, Canada, and Slovakia.
People carry automatic weapons on their shoulders in Finland. There are two things here, though, that I thought they were the two major takeaways from the article. Gun restriction in Mexico has not prevented enormous increases in the murder rate. And two, increases in gun totals in the U.S. have not led to a surge in the murder rate. And I think both of those are worthy of major standing out here. We are not killing more people. There are more murders than ever. When I was growing up, there weren't this kind of... None of that is true. We've actually gone down since the days when Elvis Presley was considered new. That's how long ago it's been since gun rates have been higher. D-Lake, D-Lake, D-Lake. Look what D-Lake's looking up.
Girls with guns. Girls and guns. Yeah. Sniper bitch.
Not very likely to be America's next rape victim, I promise you.
Yeah, I don't see the potential of that shit getting raped anytime soon. Brilliant, brilliant sound.
You're sidetracked there with titties, aren't you? It happens to the best of us, D-Lake.
No, I think that was a brilliant segue into entertainment. I think we're doing pretty good. Is there anything else that I wanted to say today?
Well, I do want to say real quick, I don't know if you've seen, did you hear about the Pentagon? This is my news from the science front for the day.
Oh, yeah, the drones. Let's get into it. Go ahead, Sam.
I'm staying on the Earth today.
Sam I.B.
It's from Sputnik, so you would expect it to be some deep outer space thing. It's not. We're going to stay on. going to stay on Earth for today's news from the science front, but it does fly. Pentagon aims to create disappearing delivery drones. Most likely, the device will just dissolve, especially since DARPA has been creating so-called soluble electronics in the past year. This isn't a bad idea in terms of this would prevent countries like Iran from stealing our drone, which they did once. The Defense Advancement Development Agency, that's DARPA, on the Pentagon has become interested in the possibility of developing unmanned aerial vehicles, which will disappear after the task, according to Portable Defense Systems. It says DARPA is considering the use of UAVs with a cloaking technology in order to make deliveries to remote located military troops without being detected. The drones will make their drop and disappear from the sky. The technology for this is called the Inbound Controlled Air Releasable Unrecoverable Systems. And it's a program which requires the drones to be 100% invisible to the naked eye.
I'm sorry, Sam. The what?
Inbound Controlled Air Releasable Unrecoverable Systems. It's like Icarus, as in the flight of a those of you who
oh, wonderful! I love how
he flew to the sky.
These acronyms. Go ahead.
With Icarus, what they want is they want this drone to pretty much disappear, vanish, dissolve, so that it can't be picked up or used later to get information from. Icarus, of course, was the mythical character that flew towards the sun and had his wings burn away and, of course, melted. The development of such drones is currently ongoing. DARPA is seeking a testing device that will hold a payload of 3 pounds and be able to deliver them within 32 feet of a targeted base GPS coordinate. Most likely, the device will just dissolve, which is, again, the soluble electronics that DARPA has been working on for the last 3 years. The program involves the development of electric circuits and components, which, if necessary, could be eaten, dissolved in a glass of water, or flushed down the toilet. The program involves a U.S. company, IBM, and the University of Iowa. The Pentagon has allocated 26 months of development of soluble UAVs. The contract with the developers so far has not been signed. It says the Russian Air Force is also working on this. The Othonik-U and the Zenistra would be a domestic armed drone, and they can fly up to 800 kilometers an hour. Russia's already using drones, of course, in Syria, and it'll be interesting to see where this future technology goes in terms of these unrecoverable drones, which if you're going to have drones, you have to say, you don't want us bombing innocent children. But if we're going to have drones, it is very important that our technology doesn't get stolen. So that today is our news from the science front. An edible drone. You imagine you're up there on a mountain, the drone delivers you your water, and then, of course, you just eat the drone.
Yeah. I mean,
droneria, drone constipation.
If a flying drone is in my backyard and it's like the camera is focused on me, am I allowed to shoot the bitch down? Or what?
That's when you don't. What do they say about regulation? If it's in your property, fuck regulation. Just shoot it down.
It's in my airspace, mother effers.
Yes, shoot it to the ground.
Going down. And I'm not going to be paying for it. There's not going to be look, you flew it in the wrong airspace. I mean, if it's up above and it's just sort of flying past, I mean, helicopters fly past my residence every single day. I don't shoot them down. But if a drone is down in my personal space, you're going to have to fuck it up. Sorry, that's just... I mean, if I'm banging my girlfriend and then fucking I look out the window and there's a drone right there with a camera,
gotta go.
Get fucked up.
Gotta go. If anybody's going to put that on YouTube, if anybody's going to put that on XTube, it's going to be you. You're going to get paid for that, not them.
Yeah, well, I'm not out there flying drones like that. All right, let's get into entertainment now, Sam. Great job on the science report and all your other reports today, man. Awesome job you're doing. just happy to host it. You know, get a little bit out in the front. What have you seen entertaining lately? Have you been watching Supergirl? I think it's awesome.
I didn't even know they made Supergirl, but I did find
Supergirl. Come on, man.
I thought Supergirl was that chick you just had with a semi-automatic rifle. This looked pretty damn super to me. Lenny Dykstra proudly claims he blackmailed umpires. This is from the New York Post. This is my piece of human filth coverage for the day. Lenny Dykstra says his prestigious walk totals didn't come from a great eye, but from hiring great private eyes. The former Met told Fox's Colin Cowherd that in his effort to get a huge contract, he spent $500,000 to hire private investigators to turn up dirt on Major League Baseball umpires and then use that intel to coerce them into giving him a favorable strike zone. In other words, he's one of the people that have led to that. I don't have a big problem as long as you're not gambling on against your own team and you're not an umpire. I really don't care if you gamble. It doesn't mean one way or the other to me. But this was so despicable. This is something that not only do I think that he should never be in the Hall of Fame, I think he should be barred from baseball instead of Pete Rose. He wrote, "I said I need umpires, so what did I do? I just pulled out $500,000 and hired a private investigative team to follow that," said Dykstra, who won the 1986 World Series with the Mets. "Their blood is just as red as ours. Some of them like women, some of them like men, some of them gamble, and some of them do whatever." So Dykstra used a baseball blackmail, or at least some private investigator assisted extortion. The former outfielder, Filth, drafted by the Mets in 1981 and the Amazons through 1989, said he made the outlandish decision when he was trying to score a big contract while with the Phillies. After injury-plagued seasons in 91 and 92, he led the National League in runs, walks, and at-bats the next season, finishing second to Barry Bonds, who he cheated, in the NL MVP race. And it wasn't a coincidence. You think I led the league in walks the next few years, was it? Dykstra asked rhetorically. When asked if he thought the insider knowledge helped, he said, "I don't think, I know." Cowherd asked Dykstra whether he ever threatened umpires, and the player responded that it wasn't needed. "Fear does a lot to a man. I'd ask, 'Did you cover last night?' They'd call a strike." "Oh, I don't think you heard me. Did you cover your spread last night?" said Dykstra, proclaiming a strike zone suddenly shrinking to a minuscule size. "I had to do what I had to do to win and to support my family." First of all, he couldn't win legally because he sucked. Second of all, if you have $500,000 to hire PIs, then you have enough money for your family. This man, I swear, I hope somebody literally destroys everything about this man's reputation in baseball and in any kind. I hope his cards go down in value, and I hope he's looked at as everything that is wrong with sports. That literally, the piece of human filth award goes to Lenny Dykstra. It really does.
Wow. That's quite an indictment there, Sam.
I mean, he was out there winning awards. There were people thinking he was this great player. He was nothing but a cheater. The only reason he did well was that he cheated. I mean, everybody made this big deal about footballs that Tom Brady didn't even know were deflated. This man was doing this on purpose.
And he was in jail? This picture is real?
I didn't know that, but he should still be in jail.
All right.
I mean, literally, he cheated every pitcher he ever played against. And some of these pitchers, of course, they're retired now. Maybe their numbers would have been better. Maybe they could have achieved a lot more, especially if they were on one of the teams that faced the Mets that year a lot. But no, they got cheated because of what he did. Maybe they're not in the Hall of Fame, or maybe their sports memorabilia isn't as worth as much. Maybe their place in the history books ain't going to be as high, largely because they had to face this asshole 200 times, and he was cheating the strike zone. Really crappy. And for someone who spent I don't know, a couple $100 this year seeing baseball games, it makes you wonder if you want to go again. when you realize you wonder, is it happening now? It's disgusting. It ruins the game.
Seems like a job for Supergirl.
It does, because we weren't talking about somebody just trying to make the cut here. This guy was already a millionaire. But yes, let's hear about Supergirl, since I didn't know. I mean, obviously, I didn't know there was a new one. I know who.
There's a new one. I just watched the second episode the other day, and I'm really. It's a little cheesy, but I'm getting into it. I'm gonna play the trailer right now for everybody. We'll comment about it. It'll be good. Here we go.
My name is Kara Zor-El. 24 years ago, my planet was in peril. My cousin, Kal-El, was sent to a planet called Earth. You may know his story, but you don't.
Sam, you may know about the Man of Steel. You may have heard of this guy called Superman before, right?
No, I've never heard of Superman, but I'm a real big fan of that writer, Clark Kent.
Oh, yeah, okay.
No mind. On Earth, you will do extraordinary things. Until now. You must go. I love you, Kara.
Now, Kara was a young girl when she was sent off Krypton, whereas Jor-El or Kal-El, Superman, was in fact just a little baby, but Supergirl got trapped in the Phantom Zone for a little while, so that's why she's younger now.
What Phantom Zone? That little prison thing that they put people into the second one?
Yeah. They expand on the Phantom Zone.
The second one is my favorite one. The second one that had Christopher Reeves.
Yeah, with General Zod. Well, this time when Supergirl came through the Phantom Zone to Earth, then she was given to an adoptive family. But when she came through the Phantom Zone, also a prisoner ship full of prisoners came through the Phantom Zone at the same time. And on that ship, apparently, according to the episode I watched the other night, is General Astra, her aunt. Astra.
Good, because they'll never have a better Lex Luthor than they had in the what was his name? Gene Hackman. Simply the best Lex Luthor ever. After that, it's over. He was perfect.
Yeah, but we're trying to reincarnate some of the storyline with Supergirl. Check out the official trailer, Sam. Here we go.
Neva is circling the city after an engine failure. We just lost another engine. We're going down. Brace for impact. Oh, come on.
There's something likable about her. I don't know what it is. The way she doesn't seem like she's going to be typical Hollywood, which is going to be good.
Thank you, Sam. Now, I don't feel so cheesy for liking this now because I watched the first episode and I just watched the second episode. I feel a little sort of weird about watching it, but I like it.
You know, up and away.
Oh yeah, Jimmy Olsen's a big black guy now. Looks like Info Warrior.
Jakari Jackson.
It's Jakari Jackson.
Jakari Jackson is Jimmy Olsen.
I swear he is. Look at him.
Up and away.
Why would Jimmy Olsen be in what? Is she with Superman in this then? Because I was under the impression that Jimmy Olsen was in Superman's world. Not, I mean, I thought you said she was much younger than he was. Are they together in this?
Exactly. Okay. She was older on Krypton, but she got trapped in the Phantom Zone, which suspended her lifeline so that she's younger when she comes to Earth. Okay. And Jimmy Olsen is now Jakari Jackson, who is friends with Superman, who Superman, aka Alex Jones, I guess, sent Jakari Jackson into Supergirl's world, Kara's world, and he was basically a silent agent until she started showing her powers in the pilot episode. You gotta watch it; it's pretty good.
That's not a bad way to work her in. What I would have liked, if they're gonna do that, what I thought would have been cool.
Yeah, no. Yeah, they
should have crashed together. That would have been much easier.
Well, the Supergirl show is really good, and what they do is they tie it in. We never see Superman on the show, but they reference the Man of Steel, Superman, her cousin, the big guy, the guy.
Oh, they're working up to bring him in.
On his chest. The guy from Metropolis, the reporter from Metropolis, and Jimmy Olsen knows Clark Kent, and he knows how he has managed to like conceal his identity. Recommends that to Carol Danvers, aka Supergirl, and she works at a competing newspaper, and the competing Perry White newspaper type, the manager, she's Kira Sedgwick, who's all like, I need an interview with Supergirl because the Daily Planet is getting interviews with Superman, so I need interviews with Supergirl. And Jimmy Olsen, because you're friends with Superman, you should be friends with Supergirl, and you need to give me this interview. And then she calls him up, and he's like, the interview has already started. And she's like, what do you mean? And her car starts floating in the air because Supergirl fucking picked up her car and then lands her car, and she's like, I heard you wanted to talk to me. I think it's pretty good.
You know what? They're gearing. They're gearing up for when Superman is going to make his appearance on that show, and I just want to put it out there, D-Lake. Are you applying for the job to be Superman on the Supergirl episode? Is it true? Are we going to see David Lake as Superman?
Oh yeah. No, I want to be Batman, but I don't think they'll have that on the show. But well, I don't know, Sam. Jeez. I have to work out and go on some kind of weird paleo diet like Jeb Bush.
It's gonna take
real quick, Sam, because this is a political show. I'm glad we spent a lot of time in entertainment, but have you seen Jeb Bush's sinking polling numbers this week?
No, but David Lake.
Have you seen the Jeb can fix it backlash?
No, you don't. Please, you're not getting why this is funny. You just said it and didn't catch it. You know who Jimmy Savile is, right? The piece of garbage that was molesting thousands of children. Jimmy Savile's show was named Jimmy'll Fix It. First of all, you've got
Wait, what are you talking about?
You've got Obama last time using forward. Wahrwerkt was one of the election phrases of Adolf Hitler. That's German for forward. Now you've got Jeb Bush running under the Jeb can fix it. Jimmy Savile, the molester. His show was called Jimmy'll Fix It.
Wait, Jimmy'll Fix It is a long-running British television show broadcast by the BBC between May 1975 and June 1994.
It was a really good show back when everybody thought
presented by Jimmy Savile, the child molester, right?
Yes, everybody thought he was a wonderful man because he would do all these great things for children. And it was produced and encouraged children to write in to have their wishes granted. He was
wish to suck his dick.
Everybody, what he did is it's even worse than that, because he actually he created the entire career of people. There are Hollywood level cameramen that asked him, you could see it online, they asked him to go ahead and be their cameraman on the show.
This
He would let that.
guy.
He would no, hold on, D-Lake, hold on. He would let them do it. He would grant their wishes, like the Make-A-Wish Foundation. He would take them on planes, and everybody thought he was like the greatest guy in the whole world. And then I remember Jolly Rotten had said, if he could kill anybody, I'd like to kill Jimmy Savile. And I love the way I'm going to sample that someday. Well, everybody thought he was nuts. Why would you want to kill one of the nicest men in England? He was only helping children so that he could molest them. They gave him keys to a hospital, and he used to go into the children's hospital and cheer everybody up. Yeah, and he molested a few kids on the way out. He was a terrible, terrible, terrible person. And lo and behold, Jeb Bush is running under the name Jeb Can Fix It. Jim, yeah, nice.
Holy shit. Sam.
You're going to want to make that its own section of this show.
I have not seen that connection in any media.
No.
Any media. We are the most brilliant news show every Saturday, 11 a.m. Pacific, usually a little bit late. We're waiting for Kyle is the goddamn problem, but did anyone else make this connection besides Sam I.B&gt? You have the correct news? No, I don't think so. We were waiting for someone to make the connection, and it didn't fucking happen, but Sam made the connection.
D-Lake's going to make that its own section, too. D-Lake's going to be doing a lot. We need to make it its own section so it stands out. We really do. Yes.
All right, jeez. Every time I try to download one of our videos, my computer gets infected with a virus, but I'll try my best.
YouTube downloader. I've got it on my computer.
Yeah. My YouTube downloader stopped working after we got that ban on our channel, but I'll see if it's working again. But great to have you on the show today, Sam. Awesome fucking show. I can't believe we covered all the topics. Trump on SNL. That stupid video. Fuck you, you racist fuck. I mean, no one is going to yell out deport racism or Donald Trump is a racist. And if they do, it's because here's what I would do. If I was Donald Trump, I'd come out on tonight's Saturday Night Live show and go, hey, I heard there's this controversy where this guy's offering $5,000 to anyone that shouts out Donald Trump is a racist. I want the entire crowd to shout out that I'm a racist, and that motherfucker is going to go over 100 people $5,000 each. So let's see if Luke's fishing bag has $500,000. I seriously fucking doubt it. And the only way he's going to get that money is if he raises it from Hillary Clinton supporters. Luke's fishing bag, you can suck my cock in America.
Right after Jamie will fix it. Right after I hit a home run.
Right here. With your
right after I hit a home run, David Lake steps up.
Lips and your bean-eating beer lips.
Without cheating like Lenny Dykstra. Without cheating like Lenny Dykstra, D-Lake steps up to the plate. Home run idea for David Lake.
Cock tastes like a quesadilla.
That's great. If he had everybody in the crowd do that, that would cost this asshole thousands of dollars. Oh my God!
Some melted cheese. All right, great. Yeah, so I think Trump's going to do well on SNL tonight. I don't think there's going to be anything like that. But again, November 10th on Tuesday is going to be the fourth Republican debate. The Democrats haven't even had their second fucking debate. Bernie Sanders and the unidentified guy known as Martin O'Malley, the shirtless president, is going to be on the stage with Hillary Clinton. 3 fucking people versus 8 people. Now, Sam, I don't know if you heard, but Fox Business News that's hosting the debate on Tuesday has set the rules that you have to have 2.5% or higher to be on the main stage. So there's only 8 people on the main stage. Chris Christie
is gone. Oh, yeah. It's beautiful, isn't it?
And Mike Huckabee are on the undercard.
See, Huckabee's a good man. I'm not sure that losing Huckabee.
No, but finally the stage can breathe. I mean, without
I wish they would have gotten rid of some other people other than I liked Huckabee, but whatever. Christie isn't there. Out of everybody running except for Hillary, I can't. I mean, literally, I dislike Christie like I dislike Sanders.
People, that's the comedy. The Democrats just are the short. They're calling the Republicans the clown car, but the Democrats are the short bus. I think I've already used that joke, but it's a good one.
Chris Christie is a despicable human being. I'm so happy that he's not going to be on there. I hate him. I really hate him.
Yeah. The only thing that sucks is now that Huckabee and Christie are off the main stage, Trump is kind of the fat guy. But he's not.
There is that. But I mean, you've got to realize that the superstructure of the entire stage doesn't need to be reinforced the way it used to.
Do you think that it's fair though that it's the media that is creating the template for the well, do you think it's fair that the media is the one that is sort of regulating, or however you would say that? They're controlling who is, but they're not, because they're basing it on the polls. But do you think that that's a little bit weird, the way that they're how do you say that word?
Regulate?
Regulating? Oh, they're regulating the party. So they're saying, okay, this time only those people with this percentage will be on the main stage. Do you feel that that is a fair way to wean the party down to the finalists? Do you think that that's fair?
Yeah, because we're on the fourth debate. If you haven't gained traction by now, I mean, this hurts me to say.
So yeah.
I am still voting for Rand in the primary, but you got to face it. Even though I want him to win, Rand, if he hasn't gained traction by now, it's not going to happen this time.
But
and it is sort of time to start weeding these people out.
He was just with Tim Scott and Trey Gowdy. I have still yet to watch it, but I saw the headlines this morning. But do you think that Rand has the ability to surpass Jeb Bush? I mean, Jeb Bush is sinking in the polls, but Rand Paul is still behind him. I mean, do you think that Jeb Bush is going to drop out anytime soon? He has the money, but
if he does, it's going to be for the goal of trying to secure.
You already said it. He's like the Jimmy.
It's gonna be to try to secure a VP spot on whoever wins. If he gets out, it's gonna be to suck up to whoever wins. Huh?
Did you just say Bush possibly a VP? To who?
I could see if Rubio takes off, Jeb Bush trying to get in on that ticket. I could see him also. I could also see him trying to weasel into any of the more mainstream what I would consider a problem Republican. And I'm pretty
looking just at the ratings today. Let's just say hypothetically, Trump were president. He could pick his VP from anyone. It doesn't have to be just the people on the stage. But for this argument, if it was just the people on the stage, who do you think Trump would go with for VP? I say the popular opinion would be Carson, but I say it would be Trump Cruz 2016. How do you feel about that?
I was going to pick Carson first and Cruz second.
Okay, yeah, I think it's going to be it's a tough call because you want to get the South, but I think that it's going to be Trump Cruz. But we'll just have to wait and see. That's just our
Nancy said Paul, but he hates Paul. I don't know though. I mean,
it's not completely unconceivable, but
they used to golf together. I will say this. I'm leaning more
But just to Nancy's point, real quick. Maybe not VP, but could you see Rand Paul, other than Senator of Kentucky, in some other position within a Trump administration?
She says yes. I don't know. If anything, probably the Treasury. If anything, something to do with money.
Any kind of Paul family in the Treasury would be music to my ears.
Yes. I want to say too, real quick, I am very much leaning, especially now that Huckabee's falling so badly. I am about to say that if there isn't a Trump or a Rand on the GOP ticket, I'm not sure I'm going to vote Republican. I might just let Hillary walk into office. I'm not voting for Rubio. I might theoretically vote for Cruz. That's why I haven't made the pledge that if there's no Trump or no. See, Cruz is somebody that I like, but I can't get fired up about Cruz. Even though he's like a Tea Party darling, I can't really get hyped about Cruz. I don't trust his banker ties.
Yeah, I'm only fired up. I'm really only fired up about Trump. I'm just throwing out, ideas and thoughts. What if he pulled his VP from, out of his ass, Kanye West?
Well, I was worried he was going to do an Oprah thing. When he first ran, he was talking about Oprah.
Oh, yeah. I think that got dispelled, but I remember you saying that.
And he
Oprah just made $100 million with Weight Watchers. But anyways, go ahead, Sam.
The only reason I remember that Ventura lost my vote the moment he said the name Howard Stern. I hate Howard Stern. The moment he said Howard Stern, there was no chance that I could ever vote for him. Ever. And I feel the same way about Oprah. I would rather have a barracuda in the White House than Oprah. I hate that woman.
Can we elect a cat to be the president? All right, Samuel, I think it's been a great show. I think we covered all the topics. We sort of wrapped it around, brought it full circle at the end, talking about the presidential race, which is kind of how we started. We got into all kinds of stuff, including the homicide rates versus gun sales, your amazing science news, new drones, all that other stuff.
Double fix it.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll fix it. Jimmy will fix it. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with reusing that? It's really weird. It's not good. He's not going to win. I'm sorry, but he's done. Sam, let people know where they can find you. I'll let people know where they can find me, and we'll call it a show. Go ahead.
You can go to the youtube.com/thecorrectviews. You can also find Passing Time Band on Facebook. We're going to be taking a break and going into the studio next month. Also, you can donate at thecorrectviews@hotmail.com. When you do so, then I can keep buying the lights. I don't have an HD camera right now, so anything like that would be wonderful. Thecorrectviews@hotmail.com. And DLAKE, where can they find you?
Great, Sam. Yeah, everyone go check out The Correct Views right now. Check out David Lake on YouTube. Look for the Captain America shield that you see down here somewhere. And also check out our videos. Lately, it's just been me and Sam, but we've been perfecting our steez. And I think that we have like a pretty good damn show going here on Saturdays lately. Hope to get Kyle Phillips back in, or else we're going to have to replace him. I mean,
if someone's still listening, then they're probably a fan. Would you like to join us on a Saturday?
Join us next Saturday. Get in touch with us at the various places where you can find us on our YouTube channels. Look for me on Facebook, David Lake, facebook.com/sticker junkie. Everyone, of course, check out Sticker Junkie, the website where you can make stickers that say whatever you want. Between now and Sunday, if you buy 500 stickers at Sticker Junkie, you're going to get 100 stickers free. It's our flash sale. Be sure to check that out. I'm always promoting all the amazing stuff that I do. I was just posting a rap song that I made back in, I don't know, whatever it was, 2010, like 5 years ago. But it's amazing. I talk about vaccines and needles and bouncing off my skin and all this other stuff, and give a shout out to Gloria and other people that I know that have been affected by vaccines. And we really need to get rid of that. Ben Carson is for mandatory vaccines. I don't really agree with that. That's why I went with the Trump Cruz ticket. Of course, Cruz's wife is with Goldman Sachs. I still have a little bit of weird feelings about that. I watched a funny video the other night that said Ted Cruz fucks his wife every night. I think that's good stuff. Everyone, check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, themediaspeaks.com, the internet. If you don't find us on the internet by searching themediaspeaks.com, then you're doing it wrong. Sam, last words?
Pour juice on your chin at the Trump moon.
Trump moon.